Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Today I'm going to talk about the basic mechanism of penicillin antibiotic as easily as I can. So let's get started. The students who are medical students and pharmacy department students, most of the time they face several problems when they study. They have just a simple idea on the particular topic. I mean, penicillin, mechanism of penicillin, they know the mechanism of the penicillin, but they do not know in the basic fundamental level. They basically, most of the students know that this simple form of mechanism. The simple form of mechanism, that is beta penicillins, which are beta-lactam antibiotics. These beta-lactam antibiotics bind with penicillin binding protein and inhibit the cross-linking of peptidoglycan, and that causes cell wall deficient bacteria, and as the bacteria cell wall synthesis is stopped and the bacteria become cell wall deficient, so it will must be undergo lysis. Okay, so the organelle into the bacterial cell, that will be undergo lysis and destroy. So the we will get bactericidal effect through the beta lactam antibiotics. Okay, but today the fundamental thing is, interesting part is, I would like to start from here. Basically, the we have to know the cell wall of the bacteria. So bacteria cell wall is formed through the peptidoglycan layer, and this peptidoglycan layer, this consists of sugar backbone and peptide linkage, cross linkage of peptide. Let's know about it. Basically, this is the simple form. This is sugar backbone, and this is also sugar backbone. There are basically a lot of sugars units on the both side, but uh, I just have drawn simple three sugar unit, and there are in a similar way both side have lot of sugar units. So these are basically sugar backbone, and these are the peptide cross linkage. Okay, and this peptide cross linkage, the main function of this cross linkage, they help to sugar backbone, I mean tight. They help the sugar backbone to become tight, and they are responsible for the rigidity of the cell wall. Okay, basically they are responsible for rigidity of the cell wall. Okay, this peptide linkage. But we know this penicillin, all we know that the penicillin um, inhibit the cross linking of the peptide glycan, and this cross linking is inhibited. Basically, this cross linking is formed by the penicillin binding protein transpeptidase enzyme. We know the enzyme, that is transpeptidase. This transpeptidase enzyme, they just act on this peptide linkage, and basically they are responsible for the formation of this peptide linkage. But if they are not capable to form this peptide linkage, then what will be occur? Basically, we will get to say that the peptidoglycan linkage won't be able to form, and this rigidity of the cell wall will be lost. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about from here. I mean, this is the simple form, but in molecular level, I mean in the most fundamental level, we can start from here. Basically, these are basically sugar unit, NAM, NAG, NAM. I mean, this is sugar backbone, and there are poly units of neg and nem. Okay, so this, the full form of nem, that is N-acetyl muramic acid, and the full form of neg, that is N-acetyl glucosamine. Okay, as well as similarly these are same, nem, neg, nem. So this is sugar backbone, and this is the another sugar backbone, and this is the basically uh, I mean the poly that connected with the nem, here also connected with the nem, and the cross linked is formed uh, between these two amino acid, that is glycine and d-alanine. First of all, we have to know these are basically amino acids. These are basically amino acids. L-alanine, L-glutamate, L-lysine, which is bind with glycine, and 5 glycines are bonded to each, bonded with lysine, and the D-alanine and another D-alanine. As I said before, this structure will be similar. Okay, so but one of the interesting thing is there is no d-alanine. I mean, in this case there is two d-alanine, but here only one d-alanine. Where is another d-alanine? Basically that by the transpeptidase enzyme, I already mentioned before that transpeptidase enzyme, they just remove that d-alanine in this a part, and they are just helping to form glycine and d-alanine uh, peptide bond. Okay, and this bond, if you look this bond, then it will be look like this, cross linking. Okay, so this d-alanine and glycine, they form peptide bond. How they form peptide bond? Let's know about the basic part. Okay, so basically we have to know that the structure of the d-alanine. Okay, this is basically, normally this is the structure of d-alanine. Hope all of you understand that this is the structure of d-alanine. Okay, and this d-alanine, basically here is 2 d-alanine. Okay, so if I draw another d-alanine, then it will be like this. Am I right or am I right? Okay, so in this case, basically how they form bond in between them, this OH, I mean oxygen has lone pair, it will try to take, if I simplify this bond, then we can write in this way, and this lone pair will attract this hydrogen. Okay, then what will be occur? So in this case we will get to see that water, H and OH, they will form water, and this will be removed from here. I mean this OH will be removed from here, so we will get water, and the peptide bond will be formed. How? Like this. Sorry. Here will be the nitrogen. Nitrogen also has lone pair, it will donate lone pair to this carbon and form bond, and H, and Okay, this is the basically peptide bond between the two D-alanine. So I just tried to simplify this bond formation. Okay, let's know the basic function. uh, okay, how the transpeptides act on this cross-linking, and how penicillin block there. Okay, let's know about it, and that's quite interesting part. Okay, basically, let's see, let's take this is a transpeptidase enzyme, where a first of all, it is basically transpeptidase enzyme in the act, and this is the active site of transpeptidase enzyme. Okay, this is the active site of transpeptidase enzyme, and in this active site they have the serine and lysine residue. This is serine and this is lysine. Okay, this is lysine residue, and the serine residue, in the outer side they have OH, and the lysine has, mm, lysine has ammonia plus ammonia. Okay, so what happened, basically this is the transpeptidase enzyme. So basically the D-alanine, what I uh, basically the D-alanine, let's draw for another time the D-alanine. Here is the nitrous NH, and it will connect with another peptide chain, and here is the methyl group, and here is the oxygen, and here is the peptide bond. Okay, uh, hope all of you understanding well. Okay, I can go. Happens basically this, when this is peptide chain part, I mean, as I written before, that last two amino acid were basically D-alanine. So this is D-alanine and D-alanine. Okay, so what happens in this case? Basically, the oxygen is electronegative atom. We know about it. So, and nitrogen is also electronegative atom. So, this carbon will be electron deficient due to the inductive effect. Okay, and this is basic organic part. Okay, so the electron deficiency will be occur here, and this oxygen, I mean this serine residue oxygen, it has lone pair, it will like to donate here its lone pair. Clear? Okay, then what will be happen? Basically it will form bond. I'm drawing here the next step. It will form bond like this. Okay, and the oxygen will become positive charged as it donated its lone pair, so it will try to remove this hydrogen H plus. Okay, hope you all of you know the basic organic chemistry. Okay, then wow, interesting thing. Let's know about the next step. So when they form this kind of bond, basically the this nitrogen, it will take this bonded electron, I mean this bonded electron shifted towards the nitrogen, and it this portion will be like this. Okay, in the next step they will be I can show it here. Basically you will get to see like this, and this nitrogen uh, has taken its electron, so it can take this hydrogen. Okay, so in the next step what happens now, only it already this portion is bonded with the enzyme, transpeptidase enzyme. Seen form bond with the D-alanine, basically the cross linking. Here the cross linking between the sugar backbone, that basically this cross linking, how this cross linking happen, how this cross linking formed, basically due to the peptide bond between the glycine and peptide bond between the CONH, peptide bond between the glycine and D-alanine. Okay, so a D-alanine, I'm sorry, a glycine, it will come here. Okay, the glycine will be like this. This is basically glycine, and this is peptide chain, another peptide chain. Okay, so what will happen, it will be for another time this carbon will be deficient for the same reason, and this nitrogen as lone pair, it will love to donate here. Okay, and the H plus is available, oxygen will attract this H plus for its lone pair, and the next step will be like this, and NH. Okay, and they will form another time peptide bond. And if you someone can ask me from where this H plus can there is already you mentioned that, you said, sir, you told us this basically this H plus is taken by this nitrogen, and this D-alanine is somehow removed, and another glycine is came here. So how is the source of this H plus? Basically this nitrogen is has H2. Okay, and it is normal thing, common thing, it's not difficult thing. Okay, they will form bond, and then okay, this peptidoglycan chain. Look, nice thing what happened here. So the finally we found the peptidoglycan linkage. Basically this portion is glycine and this portion is d-alanine, and linkage is already formed. If you understand well, I hope you all of you understand well. Okay, this is the basically mechanism. So why I explained these basic mechanism? Should we need to understand this basic mechanism of transpeptidase enzyme? Yes, to understand better of the mechanism of action of penicillin, we have to understand the transpeptidase enzyme mechanism. Okay, let's know about the now the very much super interesting part. Let's get started. The super interesting part, how penicillin block the transpeptidase enzyme. Okay, basically I'm drawing, this is transpeptidase enzyme. Okay, this is transpeptidase enzyme. Okay, and it has in this, and this transpeptidase enzyme, as I said before, it has serine residue and OH, serine, and lysine residue, which has N plus H3 in the active site. Okay, lysine residue. So when penicillin come, how they block this enzyme? Basically the same thing happened here, occurred here. So first of all we have to draw the penicillin. Okay, let's draw penicillin. 2-methyl group is present here, and there will be hydrogen, and there will be CO O bond. Okay, let's draw this lysine part here. Let's shift it here, then it will be understand. Okay, I well done. So this is the penicillin. The penicillin, basically when penicillin come, when penicillin and get this transpeptidase enzyme in the active site, basically this nitrogen, we know that the nitrogen only have 3 bonds, but here the nitrogen have 4 bonds, so it so there will be a plus charge, I mean electron deficiency will be seen in this nitrogen. So as this nitrogen is electron deficient, and this beta lactam antibiotic penicillin, it has COO minus group, so it can bind, it can neutralize this nitrogen by sharing its electron. Okay, and what happens here? Basically this beta lactam, the beta lactam ring, this pharmacophore, what happens here? Basically this carbon is, due to this oxygen, due to the inductive effect, it will be electron deficient. As like before I said, oxygen would like to share its lone pair. Okay, and then what will be happen? This bond will be break down. The bond will be break down, and oxygen will form bond with this carbon. Okay, and this nitrogen is taken its electron, and oxygen is will this oxygen will become plus charge, so it will remove its H plus, and this H plus will be accepted by this nitrogen and it will be formed like this. Okay, so hope all of you understand how it happens. Basically, the beta lactam part is broken uh, due to the binding with the transpeptidase serine part, and this total part already blocked. So is there any possibility that d-alanine come here and glycine will come here and they will form bond as I mentioned before, as I show you before? No, it's not now possible. Basically the basically this penicillin blocked this transpeptidase enzyme. This is the mechanism. Wow, it's really quite interesting. So no more today. Thank you very much for with me. um, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.